Right, Ian Paisley, first and foremost, do you condemn the actions of the Loyalists before and after the 12th of July during the Drumcree standoff?
Certainly not. I condemn the RUC and the so-called British Army who fueled that situation, and I blame the residents of the Garvaki Road for not compromising. I mean, they should have brought us tea and sandwiches down for nothing instead of charging us. I mean, we made Drumcree a fucking tourist attraction. I am not going to condemn anybody.
Right, well, do you not condemn the Loyalists rioting and looting?
I certainly do not.
Right, well, do you not think that the Loyalists started it, or was it started by Nationalists? Well, Jerry Adams, you answer that.
Well, it was started obviously by Loyalists. It's a disgrace. And I can't say that I'm surprised with what Ian Paisley has come out with. As far as I'm concerned, Ian Paisley and Sammy Wilson, the stripper Sammy Wilson, incited violence to get their own way.
Right, well, John Hume, who in your opinion started all this trouble?
Well, I think it was fucking Keen Billy. Look, what we need to do is compromise and understand each other's way of thinking. We need both sections of our community to get together.
Would you change your record now?
Right, now, come on, Jerry, let him speak. Go ahead, John Hume.
Well, you see, this is exactly what the problem is. We can't get agreement. And by agreement, we need everybody and all our sections to agree.
Hume, I must agree with Jerry Fitt. I think you should change the fucking record. Right, now, the Reverend William McRae, the standoff at Drumcree cost the security forces an estimated £10 million. How do you account for that?
Well, let me tell you something, son. It never cost me a brass penny. All it cost me was my right to walk down there at the Garvaki Road. That's all it cost me. But at the end, we succeeded in walking down there.
Right, well, Jerry Fitt, do you think these Flashpoint marches should be banned?
Well, I must admit, I do have a bit of sympathy for the Orangemen. Every road they want to march on, they have to ask permission. I mean, what happens if an Orangeman wants to go down and buy a pint of milk at a shop, and it's up at the Catholic end of the town? Does he have to go and have a fucking residents' meeting before he gets a pint of milk? And I mean, if that's the case, if Jared Brace is there, it looks like the Orange Man will be drinking fucking black tea for the rest of his life.
Dick Spring, what can we do to prevent these Flashpoint marches and parades?
Well, I think the people of Northern Ireland will have to negotiate the right to march wherever they want.
What has it got to do with you, Dickie? This is not your concern or your business. So why don't you get out of Ulster, get on an Ulster bus and go down to Dublin where you belong?
Right, now, come on. Jerry Adams, do you think the Orangemen will get something sorted out for next year's marching season?
Not unless Hoover's giving away free flights in July. I can't see it being resolved. They wouldn't like it. Now, let me put it to them. They wouldn't like it if the Republicans were to march down the Newtonard Road.
Well, I don't know about that, Mr. Adams. I think the Protestant community would relish at the thought that you would want to come down to the Newtonard Road. So why don't you go ahead and arrange it, son? But make sure you bring your crash helmets.
Jerry Fitt, who do you think is responsible for this logjam?
Well, I think the RUC and their heavy-handed ways towards people. I mean, the RUC are best. For example, they fired 300 baton rounds at Protestants compared to 2,500 at Catholics. So I think the RUC were trigger-happy in nationalist areas, and there should be a ban on plastic bullets, and they should learn the RUC arm-to-arm combat.
Jerry Adams, would that be your sentiments?
Well, for the first time, Jerry Fitt's got something right. The RUC should fight arm-to-arm and man-to-man, but they don't.
Right, but the Nationalists, Jerry Adams, weren't exactly fighting bare-fisted either. I mean, I saw one particular gentleman with a baseball bat in his hands.
But that particular fellow was playing a game in the park.
On what? How to take an RUC man's head off his fucking shoulders?
Well, that's the name of the game.
Sir Patrick Mayhew, do you not accept, along with the British government, the blame for overturning a serious decision on letting the Orangemen walk down the Garvaki Road?
No, we do not make any apologies for mass disruption, injury, destruction or intimidation. That was the fault of the RUC. I beg your pardon, I meant the Nationalists and the Loyalists alike. I mean, could you tell me exactly what JCB was doing down at Drumcree? I wasn't there to dig up some roads or whatever else. It was purely there to provoke serious riots.
No, the JCB was there to dig your grave, son, if you came anywhere near the place. But unfortunately, you didn't.
Right now, Dr. Paisley, some Catholic businesses made soup and stew and sandwiches and whatever else for the Orangemen. What do you say to that?
Well, the soup was nice. The stew was stinking. And all I got in my sandwiches was butter. So I wasn't too pleased. But having said that, if they had made way as quick as they made sandwiches, none of this would have happened.
Jerry Adams, do you think David Trimble helped matters?
No, he did not. He stirred the shade up and provoked the nationalist people, running around like a hard man with a silly mobile phone in his hand, instead of getting in the dialogue through the proper channels.
Well, that's all we've got to say on this matter for now. Thank you.